Okay, again, welcome everybody. Good evening. Thanks for joining the town call. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you, Jesse. We have an informative and engaging agenda, as per usual, for all of you this evening that includes details about our upcoming schedule after spring break, our current protocols with COVID safety, and then also some really beautiful student shares. So take a minute and silence your cell phones, please. Distance yourself from distractions, and we'd love it if you'd all turn your camera on. It makes such a difference to see everybody's faces. So if you do that, we really appreciate it. And we are recording. I hit the record button for everybody that couldn't be here this evening. We also welcome comments and questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to address them. Anything we don't get to, we can follow up with an email, or you can always email via trailblazer@onestone.org. So as we love to do, we're going to kick things off with some sharing of student voice that are reflective of our previous most recent immersions, as well as some of the great behind the scenes and impactful events of the one half event that you maybe didn't know were going on as we got ready. So first up, we have Bo Strebe.
Hi everyone. My name is Bo Strebe, and I'm a D-Lab 2 student at Lab51. Today, I'm going to be sharing an area of growth that I've experienced in my past immersion. This immersion was focused on curating your own children's book. The reason I chose this immersion is because I had been focused on academically rigorous and critical thinking things, which I personally love, but I was ready for an immersion that would give me a creative outlet. At the end of this immersion, I created a wonderful book. It's called Monday on the Moon. Here are a few pages of Monday on the Moon. It is about the simple life the citizens of the moon have. It's a collage-style book that was surprisingly very difficult for me to write because there weren't any main characters, problems, or morals of the story. For the first half of the immersion, I was going in a completely different direction with my book. I wanted to connect my childhood with the book I was creating by making sure witches were a large portion of the story. When I was younger, all of my children's books were about witches because I was obsessed with Halloween. The book was going to be called A Boss Witch, which is going to be about powerful women telling their stories. As I was creating this book, it was really hard for me to come up with ideas and artistic styles because the book wasn't really speaking to me. I found myself slacking off during immersion time and becoming bored because of this. Going into the third week of this immersion, I found a new art style that really spoke to me, and I decided to change my book completely. I was struck with the inspiration and excitement to create Monday on the Moon. Monday on the Moon flowed so easy for me and creatively, and I was so pleased with the finished product. This was a huge area of growth for me because I found myself being able to quickly pivot to follow where I was actually interested and be unafraid from derailing from my original plan. While reflecting, I connected this experience with my life. Over the last year, I've had a huge pivot with my work ethic and my passion for fashion evolving into a passion for politics. I now realize that I've grown so much in creativity, desire to grow, ownership, passion, and braveness to fully express myself. I've also realized that specific guiding questions are really challenging to me, which led me into revamping my T-popper. Because making things more broad gives me the ability to be more creative. I hope this story was impactful for you all, and I hope you enjoyed the town hall meeting.
Thank you, Bo. I absolutely love seeing those images of, was it called Monday on the Moon? I want my own copy. Next up, we have Sophia Wilmorth, who's going to talk about some of her impactful events from this previous immersion. And Sophia, I think you're here, right?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, great.
Okay, as Celeste said, my name's Sophia. I'm a D-Lab 1 student. And for my first immersion, I participated in podcasting The Rule of Law with June and Allison Parker. For my podcast, I chose to explore this topic by focusing on the relationship between law and morality. I chose to research this because I thought it was interesting how the definition of the rule of law a situation in which the laws of a country are obeyed by everyone, assumes that the laws in question are in fact just. One thing that stood out to me through my research is how Martin Luther King Jr. viewed the interaction between civil disobedience and law, saying, "Any man who breaks a law that conscience tells him is unjust is at that moment expressing the very highest respect for the law." This really helped me to understand how privileged of a mindset I had towards civil disobedience, because I always thought that it was only something to be practiced in extreme cases. What MLK believed, though, is that civil disobedience is necessary for the rectification of law. Through this immersion, I grew in many different ways. I grew in research and information literacy, finding reputable resources to reference, critical thinking by interpreting my research in order to form personal opinions, as well as writing by scripting my podcast in a way that effectively articulates my research and personal opinions. I'm going to be entering my podcast into the Idaho Law Foundation's Law Day podcast competition, which I've previously won second place in last year, so I'm excited to see what the outcome is this year. Taking advantage of these opportunities to learn through real world experiences, like producing a podcast that will hopefully be aired on Radio Boise, has and will continue to be really impactful for me to develop skills that will be most helpful for me throughout and beyond my high school career.
Thank you, Sophia. I cannot wait to listen to your podcast. I listened to your podcast from last year and was so impressed. And thank you for using your voice and getting us broadcast, literally. So we have one more story to share before we get into our nuts and bolts from Piper Myers-Poppy. She's going to talk about her experience prepping for and participating in the 1/2 event.
Hey, I'm Piper, and I sang at the 1/2 event this year. My first year at One Stone, music played a big role. I met my coach, June, and I was always in Ripple Studios singing and recording. Almost every course I took was centered around music, so much so that I burnt out and started to discover other things that I was passionate about. And last year, my love for music was put on the back burner because I explored many new things. This year, my last year of One Stone and in high school, I've been thinking about the hardest goodbyes I'll have to make. And then the 1/2 event rolled around, and I realized that singing, doing something that I loved so much, would be a great way to tell June and other musician friends just how much I learned from them over these years, and how even though I will be leaving soon, I will always hold my music making with June in my heart. Because June showed me what confidence in music looks like and how to record professionally, and also the right and wrong way to wear sandals. Singing with my friends at the one event was one of the biggest moments of pride this year. It felt amazing to see my peers grow in confidence and expression and make the 1/2 event so special. The atmosphere backstage was amazing. Everyone was nervous and excited and giving air hugs to show support. And I was thinking, how lucky am I to be able to wrap up my last ever first semester of my final year at high school by singing and showing my love for One Stone. I'm so excited to report that I will be attending College of the Atlantic next year on a social justice scholarship, but I have so many more goodbyes to make and thank yous to give, and I look forward to many more moments of connection and pride to come in my last few months of high school as a proud 51 student.
Thank you, Piper. It gives me chills. I'm not ready for Piper or any of the rest of you to move on. I mean, I am, sort of. Thank you for sharing, all of you. Okay, I gotta find my other screen, and I'm gonna do my best to download a whole bunch of information about exciting stuff we've got coming up. So most recently, we had a walkthrough visit of the One Stone headquarters and a consultation with the school's liaison officer of the Central District Health. It was a great visit. The take-home points we got of this visit were that One Stone's community is doing a fantastic job, especially with our practices such as full adherence to our masking policy and appropriate wearing of masks, an extremely effective and comprehensive survey of our population with our daily COVID-19 survey, and as well as contact tracing if necessary. And it's like drum roll, although I think you all know this, to date, we still report 0 incidents of community spread of COVID-19 at any One Stone community activity. I feel like we need like happy fingers and like applause and everything for that. Thank you all for the continual help in making that where we are right now. So we do have a few changes that we are making at headquarters to allow for just better reminders of social distancing. We removed some extra chairs, put them into storage. We've also set up specific spaces for experiences like immersions and design thinking teams. And we're working on some really great One Stone lovingly branded signage of reminders to us all to maintain 6 feet or more of social distancing. And as a quick reminder, students that aren't maintaining social distancing after lots of reminders are going to be asked to be sent home. Our community is really committed to COVID-19 safety protocols, and this is one that we really need to commit to fully. All of our One Stone headquarters building protocols that have existed, including taking temperatures before entering the building, frequent hand washing and hand sanitizing, and sanitation of surfaces and any shared materials, were confirmed by the CDH as efficacious best practices. Everyone's asked to go outdoors to eat and to step away from others before lowering their mask to take a drink. And in addition to these best practices, we can also report 100% of our One Stone staff have received full vaccination. And also, we now have access to a free PCR saliva test kit, as actually many PCR saliva test kits, that we can administer and receive results within 48 hours for. We can administer these for free, either in person or via a video call. These kits are effective at detecting all current known strains of COVID-19. We're really thankful for those. I now want to take time, we've heard it many times, but we're gonna hear about it again to reiterate just how very important our daily surveys are. We will continue to use these surveys throughout our spring term, and we're experiencing we're experiencing a significant increase in the number of student surveys that are submitted late or not at all. And I think everyone here has heard it said many times, we need the surveys completed by 8 a.m. each Lab 51 day, and everyone gets a text reminder at 7 p.m. the day prior. You also get an email confirmation that you've successfully submitted your COVID-19 survey. So there should be lots of safeguards in place. If a student does not complete their survey by 8 a.m., it's extremely, extremely hard for us to revisit the results. It's very time intensive. So that student can attend by 9 a.m., which is when workshops will begin in person, March 29th. So please, please put these protocols in place, whatever they are, to answer these questions, the daily survey, each day with careful attention to your One Stone email and the date. We really, really appreciate it. And it's hugely impactful for our ability to keep our community safe. Okay. So additionally, we're super excited to return all of our high impact experiences to in-person, and we will start that right after spring break. So Monday, March 19th. We cherish every moment that we spend together in our short 9 to Pi Lab 51 day. And that said, I need to make a personal and direct ask from all students and their families to support students getting here on time, especially our 9 a.m. start time. Again, that's starting on Monday, March 29th. A coach will be at all of our locations by 8:50 each day to greet the students. And we really thank you in advance for prioritizing Lab 51 and being punctual and professional. It means a lot to us. So I am going to transfer this over to Allison, who's gonna reiterate what it's gonna look like after spring break.
Yeah, thank you, Celeste. And I just want to say again how incredible it is, just how well we've done with managing COVID in our community. I'm really grateful to be part of such an agile, responsive community. What we've been able to do during the pandemic is pretty remarkable, and it's because of all of you. So thank you so much. And as Celeste said, we are so excited to announce that after spring break, we'll be returning to a full-time in-person schedule. We will be continuing to use multiple locations for our workshops and for our Wednesday activities. And so students will be at one of 3 locations, which is One Stone, Boise Rock, or Elcora. Students will receive communications from their coaches on where they will meet for their workshops, community read, and mission lab. So this won't change anything in terms of the numbers of students that are together. We'll just be doing all of it online, or all of it in person together. So immersions and design thinking groups will continue to meet in the same locations that they have been meeting at. So if you've been meeting at Boise Rockford D-Lab, that will continue. If you've been at One Stone headquarters for your immersion, that will continue as well. If you have any questions, please contact your advisor and they'll be happy to walk you through exactly what a student's location schedule may be. We know that this can be confusing. There can be a lot of moving parts, and your advisor is really well suited to help you work through all of this. So our Monday through Friday schedule of 9 to Pi, Monday through Thursday, and then 11 to Pi on Friday will be the same. So 9 to Pi Monday through Thursday, 11 to Pi on Friday. So as Celeste discussed earlier, we have engaged in really careful planning and preparation to ensure that we are able to make this transition in a way that helps ensure the safety of our community and to do it smoothly. And we really appreciate your continued adherence to our COVID protocols. It's what's allowing us to be together. We also have a team of students and coaches working to plan potential spring trips. We're still working on what this might look like, and we will be sharing a survey with you all in the next week to get your input, engage, interest, and comfort levels. We're working with each student on designing impactful summer experiences, and we could use your help making sure we identify all the amazing opportunities we have right here within our One Stone Lab 51 community. So a summer experience may include job shadows, internships, apprenticeships, and a wide array of training and professional development opportunities. So if you or someone you know might have a good opportunity to share with our student community, we'd appreciate your help in connecting with them. A Google form survey will be dropped in the chat to collect this information. And you can email Michael Cullen, who's I can see on my screen, at michaelc@onestone.org if you have any questions or specific ideas you'd like to talk about. And it would be really, I mean, just a wide array would be amazing. So the two parents I see in my screen are the Streebies. And I know you all have such great community connections and you might have ideas about, yoga trainings or things like that. So, just please, any ideas you have would be amazing. So Celeste, I'm going to hand it back to Celeste to wrap up the call with a few reminders of upcoming important dates. And I'll put that in the chat.
Thanks, Allison.
Oh, it looks like Michael already did it. Okay, thanks.
Great. Yeah, that survey and Michael Cullen's emails in the chat. So I just wanted to wrap up with a few reminders of upcoming important dates. None of these dates are new. They're all in the goods. And I think I talked about them all in the last town call, but it's nice just to get the information multiple ways. And I know that things are all coming at us fast in our ever-changing environment. So spring break is probably the thing that's on everybody's radar right now, March 22nd through 26th. So if you don't have it on your calendar, put that on there. No Lab 51 activities during this time. I know this date's been said a lot, but I'm going to say it again. When we return on March 29th, that's a Monday, all Lab 51 activities will take place in person at one of our 3 locations. And again, we're all of us coaches, advisors are all here to help you if you need to navigate what that looks like at your different locations. The week of April 12th is our Do Good Week, hugely impactful tradition that we all look forward to. April 21st, we'll be administering the PSAT 10 here for the class of 2023. It'll happen at headquarters. So students that are in the class of 2023 will need to arrive at 8:30 a.m. for a prompt 9:30 start. The last day of our spring experiences for Lab 51 will be May 27th, and the graduation date for the class of 2021 is Saturday, June 12th. So any other dates that we add to this, we'll always put in the Sunday, the goods email that comes every Sunday at 5:10 p.m. That's all we have for this evening. It's a short call, but we so appreciate you all for coming and getting this information multiple ways. Thank you for your full-hearted support of all that we do. It never goes unseen. The spring is already full of so much energy and a vibrant community that's excited to be together and to spend time outside. And we just couldn't be more grateful for all the ways that you're helping us show up fully and keep us all safe. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. That's all we've got.